called to order now. I want to thank all of you for coming out, even if you all had to carry an umbrella to make sure you got home safely. A reminder again to turn off your cell phones or to put them on vibrate so that you don't interrupt people around you or anybody who's speaking. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes of May 27th? You should have gotten those in your green bag on June 2nd. Hearing none, we'll accept them as they were distributed. Our opening reflection today is going to be presented by Marilyn Hartzog.
When I was thinking about presenting this today, I thought what would be appropriate. And we have a big celebration next week as we celebrate on July 4th our 250th anniversary of our country. So I hope you will enjoy my thoughts. I was thinking about what to do, and Becky said, oh, 2 minutes. And so I decided that some of our founding documents, like the Declaration, was probably too long. and you'll be very happy about that. But what came to me was a speech well known to all of us. It is Lincoln's address on the field at Gettysburg. And I know probably most of you know this. When I was going through it, I began to realize some things I hadn't noticed before. Lincoln was very prescient in the first part. He was concerned about the future of the country. He also mentioned the responsibilities that we have as citizens to those who were listening to him that day. And so his presentation on November 19, 1863, in the midst of the Civil War. And I hope you will enjoy it and think through. And if I miss something, those of you who know it, fill it in. Fourscore and 7 years ago, our forefathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. I paused at this part of the address because it made me think of Lincoln in the midst of the darkness of the Civil War, wondering if that nation would continue. We were a fledgling, young, upstart bunch of people. We'd only been official for less than a century. And yet here we were challenging a worldwide, centuries-old institution that was very well ingrained. And here we were, challenging that. Can that nation long endure? We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field to those as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in another sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it far beyond our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note or long remember what we say here, but it can never remember what they did here. Rather, it is for us, the living, to be here dedicated to the unfinished task which those who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is for us, rather, to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that we here highly resolve that those dead shall not have died in vain, and that this nation, under God, shall see a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth. Well, thank you, Mr. Lincoln, for reminding us we have endured, we hope we will endure, and we like to know that you were speaking to us that day, just as you were back then in 1863. So have a wonderful celebration, and may God bless the USA.
Thank you, Marilyn. Condolences this month were sent by Linda Lawrence to the family of Ruby Eisman. And you'll notice that we've changed the name to Condolences. Initially, this was called Cares and Concerns, and the reason it was called that was because before we were sending out cards to people in the hospital or people who were ill, besides to families of the residents who had passed. Well, we no longer get that information. It's considered private. And so we have not sent those cards out for a long time. So the President's team decided that we needed to change this to reflect exactly the activity which we are engaged in, and that is sending condolences to the families of our residents. Okay, next we have guests. We only have one guest today, and it's the Employee of the Month, and that's going to be presented by Stephanie Cortez Cruz, who's the Chief Resource Officer.
Stephanie.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. So our Employee of the Month for the month of May. Does everyone know who this person is?
Yes.
Yes.
So now we know why he was Employee of the Month. Ken Ash, our Director of IT. So let's hear a little bit about Ken. Oh, go ahead. So Ken has been here a little bit under a year, and he has made quite an impact. So let's talk a little bit more about him. Before becoming part of Wesley Willows, he was a senior IT engineer for EMQ software. His favorite thing about Wesley Willows is the people that turn these buildings into a community. So if he won $1 million, what would he do? He will pay off all the student loans here. That's smart. What is his favorite movie? Only like snakes on a plane. His favorite book is East of Eden. He likes donuts. Favorite show is Star Trek. Favorite place to visit is Rock City. He loves MMA for sports. And he likes to play cornhole. Cool. Now let's see a little more. Ken demonstrates good customer service by consistently providing outstanding customer service through his calm, professional, and solutions-focused approach. He takes time to listen, carefully evaluate situations, and work to find long-term solutions rather than quick fixes. He demonstrates teamwork and spirit by fostering collaborative and supportive work of others. By keeping team members informed, encouraging feedback, and evaluating the input of others. He is always willing to step in whenever needed, whether assisting with major events, supporting department projects, troubleshooting technology challenges, or helping staff learn new systems. He keeps the workplace safe by maintaining a safe and secure environment through his commitment to cybersecurity, data privacy, and technology reliability. He consistently chooses safe, sustainable solutions over shortcuts and has led significant efforts to strengthen security systems, protect sensitive information, and ensure HIPAA compliance across all levels of care. How does he inspire seniors to celebrate life? By enhancing the lives of residents by making technology more accessible, meaningful, and user-friendly. He understands that technology is most effective when people feel confident using it, and he takes time to educate and support both staffs and residents. And that's why we thank him for everything he does, and he is Employee of the Month for May. Please join me. Would you like to not say anything? Thank you.
Okay, the next thing is our new residents who are not here for some reason. So we had a couple of people who were going to be introduced to the suites, and one of them was Steve Hiley. And we're going to do pictures from now on. And then Monica and Klaus Napping. So hopefully we'll get them to commit to next month. So we'll move on to announcements. So the first announcement today is with Ken Lemmel, who is the Community Garden Coordinator.
Good afternoon, all. I am here to announce that next month, gardeners' markets will resume. Wednesdays, the first of which is January 29th. January. You can come January 29th if you want, but I won't be there. July 29th. And they will occur every other week, which would be August 12th and 26th, September 9th and 23rd. All of which will be in the north parking lot, 9:30 to 11. Do you hear that? 9:30, not 9, 9:30 to 11. Now we'll be there at 9 because we'll be setting up. But if you come at 9, you may have to wait a while. I anticipate, and I think with the rains that we've been having, it will come to pass. We will have sweet corn on the 1st and the 2nd and possibly even the 3rd of our gardeners' markets. We alternate those sessions with our taking produce to the Rock Valley Pantry, Rock River Valley Pantry. And the support for what we get from the gardeners' markets goes to the Good Samaritan Endowment Fund. I counted up before I came today how we are adding to that really significantly since 2020, the beginning of the pandemic. We stand these days at $22,000. And we're going to add to that this year. Any questions? Thank you.
Next on the agenda is Kim Rogers, who is the president of the Wesley Willows Auxiliary.
I just have a couple of announcements. First of all, Monday, the 29th of June, ice cream social. Oh, yay! We have one applaud anyway. It's going to be hot, so ice cream would be perfect that day. It is going to start at 12:30 over on Albright Lane, over sort of by Decor and More over there. And then at 1:45 in the town center parking lot. And then at 3 o'clock over by the dog park in the garden. So please enter one, or go to one of those places and have ice cream on the 29th, don't forget. Then, secondly, a second announcement. Right here in this very room on July 8th, Wednesday, July 8th, is the next auxiliary quarterly meeting. And we have our meeting first, and then we have a program. The meeting is important because we're going to talk about budget, we're going to elect officers, and unfortunately Gail has a little stuff with bylaws. Anyway, she did a great job, so she's gonna do bylaws. And then we have a wonderful program. Amanda Becker, who's a teacher at Auburn High School, is also a reenactor, and she's going to do something about the Revolutionary War. Now, when you come that Wednesday and meet Amanda, you will realize that what a wonderful teacher she is. I would love to have been in her classroom. She's also an author. She has written a book about a kart race park that used to be in Rockford in the 20s, I think, over by Fulton Avenue, kind of by Welsh School. And I guess people would go there all the time and celebrate on weekends, and there's nothing there now. So, but she has written a book about that. So please come and see Amanda on that July 8th at 1 o'clock in this room. And then I just have one more thing. We have been blessed here at Wesley Willows with a fantastic library. We are able to be readers because the books are right there. Not only the books, but videos and DVDs and everything else you might want. And the reason that they're there is because someone many years ago decided that we needed a library. And from that point on, this person has dedicated time to make sure that that library was filled and current and updated and is precious to all of us. So, we have decided that now that he's going to change his position a little bit, he's not going to be in charge totally anymore. He's still going to be active there. But we decided we needed to give him a little support or thanks for all of those years in the library. And that happens to be Ed Rounds, who's right in the front row. From now on, he is going to be called Mr. Library. And the certificate proves it. So thank you very much, and thanks, Ed. He said after 19 years, it really doesn't make any difference.
Next up is Kirby Doyle. Where did you end up sitting? She's got something from the Prairie Group.
Probably do it without the microphone if I use my teacher voice. All I wanted to say is the Prairie box, book box is now open, and full materials, read up on prairies or plants or birds or whatever else gets in there, sometimes some innocuous thing. But it's open, and if you have time, you should walk the path through the prairie because lots of stuff is coming up. I saw 3 rattlesnake master plants, which are wonderful, and I have one in my front yard with 10 buds on it. These are younger plants, but things are coming up. So please go take a look at what's coming up in the prairie.
Alan Fuchs has some information about concerts on the creek.
And first, a little announcement. I'm also the West Side liaison, and I haven't been getting calls over the last few months, and maybe there were reasons for that. But I'm just telling you, I am back in business, so feel free to call. And hopefully, West Side is taken care of very well, so maybe there haven't been any concerns. But if you have concerns, you can call me now. I'm ready to take them. But my real announcement is Concerts on the Creek. And people have been asking, are we doing the bus anymore? And the answer is yes, for some of them. But about once a year, it was suggested that maybe I review a little bit about what Concerts on the Creek is, because some of you are new, have never been, and so I'll just give you a little bit of history and reminder about this wonderful venue that we have right here in Rockford. Over 10 years ago, some musicians in Rockford wanted to put on an outdoor concert near a creek off of Springbrook Road, and the city did not give them a permit. So the church right there in the corner of Spring Creek, near Alpine, United Church of Christ, offered their building. Well, the musicians were thrilled. They didn't have to worry about weather and the great acoustics in the building. Audience was happy because they didn't have to sit on the ground or bring chairs, and they had an indoor comfortable chairs, heating and cooling, and Concerts on the Creek was born. It is an indoor venue. I've had a few people in the last few years come and say, do I need to bring chairs? No, it's very comfortable, and so that's where Concerts on the Creek. It also became a year-round thing. They could do it during the winter. The concerts are usually Saturdays, either 3 to 5 in the afternoon, and that's usually during the colder months, and 7 to 9 during the warmer months. They also have occasional ones on Sunday, very rare one on a Friday night, but our buses, we will take a bus on the Saturday ones. Wesley Willows, over the many, many years, has very generously provided a bus for some of these concerts, even though it's a resident-directed activity. Karen and Gracia, for a long time, coordinated the bus. Then COVID hit and things kind of shut down, and I took over after that. The concerts are local and not so local musicians, a whole variety. They've had, this spring they had ukulele, orchestra, they've had a lot of bluegrass, they have the familiar faces to us like Trinidora and Danny Diamond. So all varieties, and it's a really fun Saturday concert. They request a $5 donation or more. All the donations go to the musicians because the volunteers in the church, and they do have a donor, take care of everything inside. The 2-hour concerts have an intermission, and during the intermission, lots of mingling, and you can buy water, soft drinks, and ice cream, which is also fun. We have just about as many people going from Wesley Willows on their own as go on the bus. And it is recommended, highly recommended, that if you go on your own, that you go online, reserve your space for a $5 donation, and then when you get there, you check in with your name and they have you listed, and you'll be guaranteed a seat somewhere. What I do is we collect the names, however many on the bus. I let them know ahead of time how many are coming, and we give our donation at the door. Again, $5 donation is what they request. However, the sign at the door, I think walk-ins, they request 10. Either way, it's a great deal for what you get when you go. And again, all the donations, all the money goes to the musicians. But I am here to announce the first of the year, July 25th. A very talented young man, he's probably 21, 22 now, Logan Ramey, will put on his Elvis show, and it is a really great show. Even if you don't like Elvis that much, it's a great show. He does a costume change in the middle. His mom, sitting over in the corner doing the sound system. It's just really fun, and he's a great, great singer and great entertainer. So on July 25th, Saturday, the concert is 7 to 9 for those going on your own. We will have a bus starting at 5:15 at the Arbor, 5:30 at the homes, 5:45, because we need to get there shortly after 6. The room will fill up, the parking lot will fill up, so if you want to go on your own, get there early. But we get door-to-door service, and again, I anticipate that the bus will be pretty full. The last time we went to that Elvis one, they used every single chair in the church. There was standing room only, they were giving out numbers at the door, and there were people turned away. So it's a really good show. I wasn't sure what was gonna happen, but it got taken care of with Jill this morning. We are doing a WS.WRH sign up, which means WS.WRH or the front desk or green bag, rather than calling me, because over the last few years, you called me to sign up and I put the transportation list together. We're gonna try it differently this year. Hopefully that'll work. But that is now on, is it on today, as of today? It's on, as of this morning, yeah, it got put on, so you can sign up. So don't wait till the last minute, because there will be a cutoff time, and the bus, either it's full, or it's gonna be too late for me to send it in. So, I think that's it. If you do have questions, I think my name and phone number is in the WS.WRH. If you want, I'm not gonna ask for questions now. So if you need any more information or questions, you can call me. And it'll be in the green bag, like in 2 weeks maybe, written in a blurb. So look for that too. Thank you.
And the last announcement is from me. Besides the farmers or the gardeners market in the summer, the auxiliary also has a bake sale that's over in the north parking lot, and it starts July 15th and is every Wednesday until September 2nd. And we are over there from 9 to 11, which drives Ken nuts. And then we come over to the Castletown Center, and we have it from 11:30 to 1. And so we hit the people after chapel and coming over for lunch, so you could pick up your goodies there. So I'm here to ask for 2 things. I need some help to man the place over there to sell the goods. I need baked goods, and I need you to buy stuff. So I have a sign-up sheet I'm going to pass around. If you can help, put just your name and your contact information, and put a check mark in the day that you can help over there, from 9 to 11. If you just want to help set up or take down, there's directions here on how to sign up to do that. And I expect to see every single one of you, either at the town center or in the north parking lot. And if you don't know where the north parking lot is, just ask somebody, they can direct you there. Thanks. So suddenly, we're in administration. And the first person today is going to be Annie Bolts. And she's got some information about culinary operations. I saw Annie, where'd she? There she is.
Good afternoon, everyone. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Annie Bolts. I'm the Corporate Director of Culinary Operations for the Wesley Willis Communities. I wanted to take a few moments to touch on bistro and town center dining operations. We've been hearing your feedback around menu clarity, guest reservation processes, and overall staffing support. I want to start by saying thank you. We truly do appreciate you taking the time to share your experiences with us. It helps us focus on what matters most to you. Right now, we are actively working on several improvements behind the scenes. That includes finalizing integration bumps between systems like MealSuite, our point of sale system, and WS.WRH. Growth is never linear, and we are actively navigating these challenges right now. Our goal with this is to create a more seamless and consistent dining experience for you on your day-to-day. I'm also excited to share some positive news with you. As many of you know, Chef Michael Rayfeld, he's sitting there in the back, myself standing up here up front. We're extremely busy people. So I'm also excited to share that we've recently added 2 new dining operations roles to support culinary leadership. So these roles include a front of house operations manager and a back of house operations manager. These 2 new hires are currently being onboarded and will provide additional support to Chef Michael's role, as well as my own role, as we continue strengthening dining services across all of our communities. This will give us a little bit of our time back to support you better. I also want to acknowledge that some of the recent changes have not been without challenges. We understand that this has caused some frustration, and we truly appreciate your patience as we work through these transitions. Please know that our team is working as hard as we possibly can to smooth out these processes and make the improvements as quickly as we can. Your feedback is incredibly important to us, and it continues to guide the changes that we're making in this community. We have great momentum, and please trust we have great things ahead. I'm happy to connect and answer any questions at the conclusion of resident council, so those who have immediate concerns or any other questions, you are personally heard and responded to by myself. And thank you again.
Thanks, Ann. Next up is Brendan Burkle.
Good afternoon. My name is Brandon Burkle. I'm the Corporate Director of Facilities and Grounds. I know most of you are here, I'm sure. Today we're going to talk about the work orders and our full work order report, landscaping. That's been a hot topic, so we're going to hit on all those things and hopefully have one or two questions maybe. All right, for the month of May, we had 1,650 work orders total created. So we completed 1,607 of those, leaving quite a few out there. So when we break this down, we look at how many work orders are still out there. Obviously, the pending work orders, there could be a lot of different factors in that. Mostly would be vendor type things, right? We're waiting on a vendor, waiting on a part, those type of things. The new ones, either we just haven't gotten to it, or it's kind of a lower priority task. So we've got some work to do for May. Our percentages are still great, considering the amount of work orders that we're doing. So 81% were completed within 1 day, and then a total of 80% within the 1 to 3 days. So response rate is good considering what we're doing here. Also, the WS.WRH QR code work order entry continues to go up, so we're 7.7% on all those work orders that were created were completed through the WS.WRH app or the QR code, so keep it up. That's great. I think we're up about 1% from last month. The team has completed all of our PMs, which is phenomenal. Obviously, it took a little bit longer than we initially expected, but it is done. One of the big delays with that whole process this year, we talked about early on when we started, we replaced some CO2 and smoke detectors in that process that extended the time, and then we're also doing a lot of data collecting, so we are getting a better understanding of like our ages of our furnaces and all those things. So we've collected all that data, most of that data, and then Tricia is helping us kind of take all that and get it into our maintenance care system for tracking. I've talked over the last couple of months about Vision 2030, our strategic plan, and one of those things are the tech initiatives that Ken always talks about and Ken's got on his radar. But one of those big things that we recently completed was the tech survey. So we have those results, and we appreciate everybody's feedback on that. So once we kind of gather all that, that's going to be our baseline for how we measure everything moving forward for what we're doing from here on out. So stay tuned on that. Okay, landscaping. Tricia, how many phone calls you had about landscaping since last month?
Oh my gosh.
A lot. A lot. So we hear you, right? We hear you. And if you're expressing concern about a landscaping challenge, whether or not it's I don't have mulch, or I have dead plants, or my irrigation is not working, or I don't think my irrigation works, or my irrigation runs and it's pouring rain, all of those things. Know that we don't just take that information and sit on it. It goes on a list, we track that, but we're also pushing that to the vendors all the time, 24/7, every day. So sometimes those things get taken care of quickly because of that. Sometimes it takes an email and then a phone conversation from Brandon, and then those things get taken care of. So we know we were behind with the mulch this year, a lot of contributing factors, but we expect the East Campus to be done by the end of the week. So no rain today to delay that. But we're really close. I think we just had Embry left potentially. So.
And my house is always the last one.
Never heard that before. But one other thing to note on that whole process, it is a big campus, right? 288 homes, so you can imagine, I don't remember how many semis of mulch, but it's like 12 or 14 semis are most that come to this campus. But that's why we rotate east and west. So Gail was last this year, is gonna be last. Next year she might be first because we're gonna start on the east side. So we do go back and forth for that reason. Outside of that, Jeff's team has also started our summer prune. We're in summer, so that is a process that takes some time. So they're doing some of that with the east side mulching, and they'll do that through August. So depending on, some plants need it now, some plants need it later, so it would be an ongoing process. And then we continue to take all those resident requested items and just disperse those to Crimson Valley Landscape, Manny's, depending on whatever we think is appropriate. So if you have one of those requests out, we're probably either waiting for a quote to get back or they're waiting for me to approve a quote. So we do have a lot of those out there too, so we're working through those. Any questions? That's too many. I said, well, that's 3. But
Wesley Willis is in violation of the state of Illinois Noxious Weed Act by letting Canadian thistles grow on our property. They're supposed to be kept under control or destroyed. And because they're not kept under control, I got 66 of them growing in my back flower bed. There's 6 big areas out here. They're getting into flower now. Once they get into flower, even if you cut them off, they're going to mature into seeds. Something's got to be done about it. It's against the law that allows them to grow on your property.
okay, we'll evaluate. The comment was there's a law against no thistles. I don't like them either, so I'd rather not have them. What's your address?
4251 euro. I'm worried about what's out here.
And that's a conversation I'd have to talk to the prairie group and how we would manage that.
We got to kill the weed and the roots.
Okay, we'll look into it.
And if you cut them down, you've got to burn them.
We will look into that. We are planning on burning in the fall, so that is coming.
But it's against the law.
Got it.
I live on Catalpa Woods and Windy Ridge Trail. Neither of those 2 areas have been mulched yet. I doubt that you can do that much between now and Friday.
Okay. My understanding was the mulch was done on the west campus, but I
That is
will
not
tell.
true.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay. Catalpa and
One side of the issue, just but some of your.
Catalpa Woods isn't finished.
okay. I will, as soon as I'm done here, I'll drive through and I'll make a phone call. Thank you for the information. I appreciate it. Is there over here?
The question has to do with the rain and the sprinkler system. Sometimes we get 3 inches or 2 or 1, and the sprinklers then come on, and does somebody have to manually adjust it or what?
Good question. The question was, when it rains, does the irrigation system know that and turn off? Does somebody have to manually turn that on and off? Yes and no. There are rain sensors attached to those, and last week I had Rainmaster confirm that those were all in working order and on. So the rain gauge is basically a device that has a sponge in it. So obviously it rains like a rain gauge. When that rain gauge gets full, that sponge gets wet, sets off a sensor, and then that's supposed to tell the controller to not turn on, essentially. Those are a bit finicky because the sponge gets wet a little bit, and then it dries out from the wind, so it's not a perfect science, but yes, they all should have systems that work that way and turn off when it rains. Anybody else? All right, have a great day.
And the last voice from administration is Jessica Story, our executive director.
Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing today? Good. It's lovely to see everybody. Wanted to start off with a quick occupancy report. We continue to do really well in the homes and suites. East side of campus, we don't have any homes available. We have 2 on hold. West side, we have 1 available and 4 on hold. And then in the suites, doing really well as well. 4 available, 0 on hold. 1 in Suites 2 available, 1 on hold. Suites 3, we have 4 available and 2 on hold. And in the Arbor, we have 24 apartments available and 5 on hold. So we're looking forward to a lot of move-ins on campus, especially in the Arbor. Our total occupancy rate overall for our campus is 93%. Wanted to talk a little bit about the box office benefits. We heard from some residents last year that, you know, sometimes they just want to go to the show, or sometimes they just want to go to the meal in the show. So we are doing 2 separate buses this year, one for just the show. So, and then one, of course, to go to the activities and the show. So please know that we have 2 full buses available. I looked at our sign-up list for transportation, and there's plenty of space. We'd love to give you a ride there. So if you have tickets and want to join us, we'd love to have you. It's going to be a lovely, bright, sunny, sunshiny day with no tornadoes, like the Wizard of Oz, right? It's going to be a lovely day. It always is a lot of fun. And this is our 54th year doing it. And of course, this benefits our Good Samaritan Fund, which provides resources to individuals who outlive their financial resources. So very important benefit. We hope that you'll join us. If you have any questions about it, please ask me, ask Jill, ask Brooke, and there's many of us that know about it, so we'd love to fill you in. And then, does everybody know who this lady is? Yeah. Not Frances. I know you know who Frances is. This is Jonelle Doherty, for some of you that may not know. And she's retiring. She's been with us for 42 years. Wow. I know. So I talked to her this morning. She has been through, known all 4 of our CEOs. And throughout the years, she just said, she talked to me this morning about how when she first started, it was just the Arbor and the health center, and only homes on Albright, that was it. And throughout the years, just watching all the changes, the additions and everything, just very exciting, very, very special lady. We're gonna celebrate her on Friday and would love for everybody to join us if you'd like. It's the celebration's gonna be at 10:30 in the lobby. We're gonna do some treats and just thank her for her years of service and wish her all the luck and with her retirement. She has lots of travel plans and things like that, so please come up, help us celebrate with her. And that's actually all I have for you today. Was there any questions for me? Okay, I did just think of one, sorry. I know there's something. We are under a mask mandate in Willows Arbor. So if you do enjoy going to Willows Arbor, if you're visiting a friend or something, please make sure you're wearing your mask. Okay? All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
Any other comments or questions? I have a couple of things. Contact information for the 2026-2027 President's Team is on Wellzesta right now. It's under resources, go to documents, and under recently added, and there you'll find everybody that's on the President's Team, what their position is, and their contact information, which includes their phone numbers and their email addresses. And that's particularly true for the liaisons. So this will also appear in the green bag next week. And the last thing I want to say is a big thank you for hard work and support of the resident council, for outgoing officers, Ann Boleen, who served 3 years. Ann, stand up so everybody can see who you are. And last year's secretary, Martha Logeson, is going to step down. We have 2 new secretaries to take her place. So both of these people have been really helpful to the president's team and to you. So I really appreciate the time and the effort that both of them have given to us. So that completes our agenda. The next meeting is July 29th, same time, same place. And so the meeting is adjourned. And if that thing that I sent around to sign up, where is it? You can give it to me, or you could continue to pass it around. So have a good day. I hope it's not raining.